What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Damn, this drink is a little sweet. Happy Monday. Hope all you're having a great day. Hope you all had a great weekend. The weekend went by so fast, yo. It's like if you blink, you missed it. The weekend stayed like sometimes you get these weekends where they feel long, and then this past weekend felt so short. I was like, I woke up this morning just now realizing it's Monday. Ah, man. The weekend was cool, though. It was cool. It pretty much was cloudy and rainy all weekend, but it was still pretty dope. Um, Getting into this episode, I am getting really sick of people. I really am. Jocelyn, people like her, Molly, I'm getting tired of them. Like, the rudeness, the disrespect. Like, these kids are too privileged. I'm sorry, but you would be getting a belt to your ass if you ever talk to an adult like that. I don't care if you don't like that person. The way she keeps speaking to Julian is just so rude. It's so disrespectful. It's unnecessary. It's not called for. And he's being really nice, and you're being really rude for no reason. Um, before anybody say anything, I already know somebody gonna come in the comments talking about something her dislike of him is for no reason. Well, first of all, he didn't do anything to her personally. Um, Julian is no saint by any means, and I'm not saying that he is, but you're in his bar. First of all, aren't you a little young to be in somebody's bar? You're only 14 and you're in a bar. Um, I guess they're trying to hold their little dance at his bar or whatever. And mind you, I'm pretty sure he's not charging them to use the bar for their dance. I'm sure he's not charging them. Plus, he's allowing you to set up decorations. He's giving you the space for free, and you're still being disrespectful to him. I'm like, I would have just, if I was Julian, he better than me. He got way more patience than me because I would have told the little trick, get out. Seriously, I would have said, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Because you ain't going to be in my establishment disrespecting me. She could have had that event anywhere. You could have had it at the Floating Rib. You could have had it at your, like her mother has a ballroom at the Metro Court. And she also has the restaurant that Jocelyn could have used. So you could have used the Floating Rib, all these different places that you could have used. But you want to use Julian's place, but you don't like him though. Like I said, Jocelyn and everybody in Port Charles, they don't have to like Julian. But when you come into his bar and you know he owns it, show some damn respect. Show some class. You know what I'm saying? Leave the snarky comments outside. You don't have to come into somebody's establishment with snarky ass comments. He didn't beg you to come in. Like, seriously, I'm tired of the rudeness. And Jocelyn is so dumb, she can't even see that she's being used and manipulated by Nell. Like, obviously, she's naive. Um, which is typical, especially for somebody her age. Well, not for everybody her age, but there are some teenagers that are, you know, smart. Not saying that she's dumb, but she's naive. Like, if I was a blind man, even I can see that, Nell is manipulating. She's manipulating this girl, just like she's manipulating everybody around her. Here's the thing, and this is what I seriously need for the writers to do. Choose what you want to do with Nell, because I just feel like they don't know what they really want to do. I feel like some days Nell comes off genuine, and then some days she comes off evil. Please pick what is she, a villain? I'm tired of these characters on the show being dark, like being gray type characters, where one minute they do something evil, next minute they're good, next, and vice versa. Please pick what you want them to be. Are they a villain or not? Like, I just want to know. Because the writers seem to think that the only villains who could be on this show are Jerry Jack, Selena, and Faison or Victor Cassadine. Those are not the only villains. We do need more villains on this show. We need new villains. And I got three villains in mind right now. Peter August needs to be a villain. Valentine needs to be a villain. Nell needs to be a full villain. All three of these people need to be full on villains. Not gray type characters. They need to be villains. Let's just get that going. Like, we need to establish exactly what are they. You know what I'm saying? Because we got enough people on this show that got gray areas. So we need a full fledged. We need a new group of villains. We need them, and those three fit the bill perfectly. Those three fit the bill. Um, I will say, I'm like I said before, I'm all for Nell making Carly crazy. I don't like the fact that she's using the kids to do it. You know, she's using Jocelyn to do it, and she's using Carly's dead son to do it. I don't like that. That I don't like. But I'm on board with her making Carly crazy. I just don't like the method. Um, Nell is playing with fire. She's playing with fire, and I'm loving the fact that she's tormenting Carly in a way. But even though I know deep down it's gonna backfire on her, because I know it will. We all know it. She don't really know how to cover her tracks that well. And I thought she was gonna get caught today until that bum started talking. Like when Carly and Dante were at the crash site where Morgan died, and they found that bum. And this bum was sitting there telling them, I hate calling him a bum, but homeless, whatever. It's all the same to me. Um, he was telling them that he's there every day all day and he see who uses that phone. He told them as soon as he said a man uses that phone, I said he full of shit. He lying. He's lying. I knew he was lying. As soon as he opened his mouth and said a man was at that phone, I knew he was lying. I said he a damn lie. How you mistake a man with a 5'5" pregnant woman with blonde hair? Even if you didn't know she was pregnant, you know she a little 5'5" woman. You know the difference between a man and a woman. Hell, she got the ponytail right there. You could tell she a woman. I knew he was full of it. I said, "Yep, he's lying." Um, and of course he was lying because, mind you, Jason gave him probably like $50, $100. I'm gonna go with 100 because Jason ain't cheap. So he probably gave him like at least $100. So after they left, Nell come up in there. She comes to the crash site and gives him a case of vodka, a, a box full of vodka. I say, you dumbass. Jason gave you $100 and you chose to lie to them just so you could get a case of vodka that Jason pretty much could have got you, or you could have used $100 he gave you to get a box of vodka. Listen, if I'm homeless and I got one person telling me to keep my mouth shut and they get me a case of vodka, and then another person giving me $100 bill, I would be sitting right there snitching. I'll take the money over the vodka. Shit, vodka to me is kind of nasty anyway, depending on what kind. Um, but bitch, I'll be taking that $100. I'll be right there raising my hand snitching. Yeah, it was some little 5'5" hoe. She was standing over here making calls using a voice recorder. I would have been snitching. I would have been telling it all. I'm telling you right now. I would have been telling everything. I tell you what I had for lunch in the third grade. I tell you that I pushed little Bobby on the swing set when I was in the second grade. I'll be telling every damn thing. You hand me $100 and I'm homeless. Shit, that's enough to get me a little cheap ass motel room for the next few days, maybe a week. I tell you everything you want to know. See, had he gave them that vital information, Jason probably would have gave him even more money. Shit, I would have been naming names, dates, states, everything. I don't give a damn. Break me off a few hundred. I tell you what you want to know. I tell you who your mama slept with last week. I'm dead serious. I tell you whatever you want to know. Your mama was up in the bedroom last week sleeping with Pastor Johnson. I'll tell you that right now. Give me a few hundred. I'll take that over the vodka. But I knew he was full of shit, and I knew Nell paid him off somehow because I knew she ain't had no money. So I said, yep, she got him some liquor. I knew it. Well, I like the fact that this time she actually kind of covered her tracks this time because usually I was about to say I know it ain't gonna be this easy for them to find out because Nell never covers her tracks. That's why Michael and everybody else found shit out so quick. She never covers her tracks, but this time she learned. It's about time. I'm like, you ought to learn by now to cover your tracks. I'm just saying, like, you done got caught a few times already. Don't go, don't learn from your mistakes. But she playing with fire. Anyway, it was good to see Brad today. But, he had to come over to tell Julian basically that since him and Lucas are adopting, if anybody comes around asking about him and Lucas or whatever, to tell them basically that Julian and Lucas are estranged and he has nothing, he's not going to be a part of their baby's life. And I feel bad for Julian. I really do. But, he's suffering the consequences of all his actions. He has no family. His wife left him. His kids want nothing to do with him. He can't be a part of his grandkids' life. I feel bad for him, but, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You made your bed, now you gotta lie in it. It is what it is. I feel like one day I think him and Lucas might get to a point where they could be around each other, or where Lucas would, welcome him into his life. Cause I really wish that one day, Julian could be a part of his grandkids' life. One day. I doubt, I figured it wasn't gonna happen anytime soon, and I doubt it will. But maybe a year from now, maybe even a few months from now, who knows? I think it just sucks that he's missing out on all this family time. But he made a lot of bad mistakes that people are just not ready to forgive for yet. And that's a yet because there's no telling. One day maybe Sam will forgive him. Maybe I think if he keeps working on himself, he keeps living his life, staying on the straight path. I think eventually they'll forgive him, and he could be a part of his grandkids' life. Hopefully, he just got to keep his nose out of dirt. Just stay above the bullshit. Stay out of trouble. Um. So anyway, I you know I feel really bad for Sonny. I really do. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Mike. But I will say I was on Detective Chase's side for the most part of today. I was on his side because he was just doing his job. And Sonny and them were yelling at him and stuff like that. Like, he's new to the department. He's new to the PCPD. He's not trying to do anything that's going to, get him written up or suspended or fired. He doesn't want to, get that reputation. And he doesn't want to lose it, put his job in jeopardy. And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Besides, he didn't know anything about Mike's Alzheimer's until the police report was already filed. The paperwork was already done. Mike was already booked and processed. So there was really nothing he could do. Plus, he has prior records, so he really can't let him go. I feel like maybe he would have let him go for the night had he not booked him and processed him and stuff like that. Had he not done all the paperwork for it, he probably might have would have let him go because of the Alzheimer's and stuff, because of the situation, had he known beforehand. But the fact that he didn't know until after everything was done, it was nothing he could do. Once the paperwork and everything is filed and everything's in the system, you're in the system, there's nothing you can do, but it's in the court's hands. It's in the judge's hand, the DA, Ava, it's all in their hands. And Ava hasn't dropped the charges yet. So it's nothing that they can do. I felt bad for the detective. He was getting screamed on and stuff like that, but he was just trying to do his job. I can't fault somebody for really just trying to do their job. But what I didn't agree with him was when he told Dante about following protocol because Dante let Mike out of the handcuffs. Um, because he let Mike out of the handcuffs and stuff. But I felt like that's where Detective Chase was wrong. I felt like it was the right thing to do to at least take the handcuffs on him because he's not a violent killer. He's an old man with an illness. I felt like the cuffs were not necessary. He's not going anywhere. So, I felt like Dante did the right thing by taking the cuffs off of him. You know what I'm saying? His wrists were obviously hurting. Even though it's not protocol, to take the cuffs off or whatever. But still, I felt like it was the right thing to do. Why not? You could tell though, Dante and Dante's really not feeling Detective Chase. He really didn't like him the first moment he met him, and now he's really not gonna like him. You know what I'm saying? Like he really just I just see a lot of trouble between the two of them. But I can't really fault Detective Chase for doing his job. You're following the law, you're following the protocol. I can't fault you for doing your job. You know, doing what you're supposed to do. Who am I to fault you for that? Um, it just is what it is. But I really felt bad for Sonny when, Carly and Jason came home and stuff and he just broke down crying, telling them about Mike's diagnosis. Um, I really felt bad for him, because no kid, whether you're a grown person or whatever, you don't want to see your parents pretty much slowly but surely losing their mind. You know what I'm saying? Like there is like he mistook Dante for Dominic Pirelli. Like, when Dante was undercover. He at that point probably forgot that Dante was even his grandson, you know? it's sad to see him like that. You know, and I could tell like in Dante's face, even Dante looks sad to see his grandfather like that. It was a sad situation all the way around. You know what I'm saying? So now they got to figure out what they're gonna do about Mike and his care, and I don't think putting him in a home or anything like that is gonna be necessary. What they could do is just get him a nurse, somebody to come to the house, maybe a babysitter, something like that. Maybe call his girlfriend, see if she want to move to Port Charles, you know, something. But I feel bad for the man, because you don't ever want to think about your parent or even your grandparents, you know, not recognizing things that were so familiar to them. It sucks, it's a bad situation all the way around. Like I said, it's horrible. Um, but anyway, I think that's everything in this episode. Not a bad episode today. Pretty decent. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you thought about today's episode. I will see you all later. Have a good day. Peace.